Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Sri Ambati, co-founder and CEO of H2O.ai, an AI cloud company on a mission to democratize AI for everyone. He's here to discuss how organizations of all sizes can harness the power of AI and practice responsible AI. Sri, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks.
Thank you for having us.
Tell us about H2O.ai and what makes this company unique.
We started the company after learning that most algorithms have been proprietary, have been at the largest companies in the world, and we wanted to democratize AI and truly make that possible for any company to become an AI-first superpower. And we have the best technology, one of the most talented set of team around me. And the mission to democratize AI, we were the earliest .ai domain, and we see like so many thousands of AI companies, more than 20,000 AI companies use our platforms today. And we are super thrilled at the co-innovation we are doing with our customers and making them really successful. A large number of our customers are in the financial services, and we are super thrilled at the growth they are seeing and their investments into our company. Customers led our last 3 funding rounds. A strong ethos for doing good. We started the company to make the world better with AI, and H2O for life on this planet and AI for life in the rest of the universe. And so we have a very broad mission, and that's been very well embraced, whether to fight wildfires or using AI for climate change and bringing AI to help our people in this time of need, especially during COVID and the reopening after.
And Sri, what are the emerging trends that you're seeing with AI for 2022?
AI is going to be a force for bringing a great change and making people's lives better, personalization, both on the digital side of the health to climate change. You're seeing a lot of, we predict hurricanes, we predict kind of which telephone pole will be taken down by the next hurricane or wildfire. And that means that we can actually help the world prepare and manage pandemic. We were working with several healthcare companies and hospitals, HCA, Kaiser, to kind of react quickly to fast changing trends. Supply chain disruption, AI is going to be at the center of helping America rebuild the supply chain and the world. We're seeing a very, very distributed kind of global kind of forces coming together to make the world kind of react faster to the typical black swan movements. AI is going to be at the heart of Web3. So you're going to see a lot of intelligence starting to come to help with the low liquidity transactions. A lot of our customers use us to typically use us to prevent fraud or underwrite better, cheaper, and faster. And being able to kind of reduce the cost of doing business in a digital world. A lot of the data is coming in through documents, through video and audio. And so we have a lot of kind of AI can really truly help accelerate companies, take advantage of the data and monetize it to build really digital products, data products, and build AI apps. So AI cloud is here. We saw the rise of data clouds in the last year. I think AI cloud is going to help companies transform their data and start to build insights and predict, not just look at what happened, but look what's ahead.
Can you speak to some of the use cases where AI plays an important role?
So we saved about $1 billion for AT&T last year on fraud prevention, iPhone stealing, for example. A lot of underwriting, lending use cases, fintechs, Citi, Capital One, Wells Fargo, Bradesco, Commonwealth Bank of Australia. All of the largest banks in the world are using H2O to kind of reduce the cost of lending, reduce the cost of making those decisions, which stores to reopen, and that's a big problem for many of the retailers now, and kind of for brand protection as well as revenue growth. A lot of the BNPL players have disintermediated the banks, so banks are beginning to react with better technology, better AI, but understanding the customers. A lot of the pieces of AI are at the heart of making things work for a person of one, a bank of one, a purchaser of one, the personalization. I think healthcare, telemedicine is going to be here. A lot of us are experiencing the hybrid world, and I think that's going to be there for a very long time. Education, I think we're going to see a lot more application of AI to bring upliftment, and we need to kind of make our workforce smarter and better. And so that's a lot of AI is going to be assistants for people making big decisions.
You know, Sri, it's so interesting when you think of fintech and AI, it really is very consumer centric. So my last question to you is, how can businesses give back and help better the world through responsible use of artificial intelligence?
If you look at the last 100 or 1,000 years of decisions, those decisions have an inherent bias in them. And so data has captured that decisions. And I think we have to proactively fight bias. And I think in the data, and I think the way to do that is actually to create tests around models so that you can build those models more with more kind of awareness of the bias in the historical decisions. That means that more explainability, more interpretability of the models, bringing the domain experts very closely to the data scientists so that people can absolutely make those understanding the models. Telling the story is still the number one kind of a barrier, right? So models predict, for example, some of our models predicted you couldn't travel to London if you didn't travel by Thanksgiving, you couldn't travel to London. And those models, interpreting those models is going to be very important. And I think that's ability to kind of be able to be prepared for the future. The pandemic has truly impacted the supply chain, right? So it's almost a species at war, right? We are a human species at war with another species. And so we need to come together as one unified people to kind of go after and bring that kind of empathy across the organizations. The great resignations you're seeing, I think that's a symptom of need for more individual freedom, more respect for the workforce, and empathy for the work life today, which is extremely at home, right? So you're with the family. So organizations, when they reopen, should think about how to be more aware of how to make their employees feel super empowered and super. The democratization of AI is going to lead to democratization of ownership, and we'll see a lot more founders. And I think we're already seeing the trend. A lot more companies, and AI is truly a co-founder for a business person or a person with a purpose. A lot more purposeful, whether for climate change, social equity, inclusion are going to be huge. We're going to see a lot more AI nations, right? When we rebuild America, we want to have a plan for 2070. We want to have 2200. Now, how do you build and do those infrastructure changes now to make a digital nation react faster when the next pandemic comes at our door? We should be far better prepared. And I think those kinds of investments are going to happen both in the US and in every country we are seeing. Climate change is real. And so we want to kind of be part of that change. We are seeing nations like Turkey, Germany, Australia, Canada, and the US and South America's react to that upfront and plan for that, as opposed to and respond with the right kind of data. I think bringing that change is going to take a lot of empowerment.
All right, Sri, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.